Hey guys, it's King. Welcome to another Autism Digest interview, where today we are talking with someone who I've known since I first moved to Ohio. He's the treasurer of Lake County, Ohio. He's currently running for the state treasury in Ohio, and he's the president of the Lake County Birthday Club, Treasurer Michael Zuren. Thanks for coming on, Treasurer Zuren.
Oh, thank you, Caden. Yeah, glad to be here. I've seen all the good that you've done in the county and the state over the last 3-4 years, and just really impressed by how hard you work and how many things you're involved in. You're making such a positive difference in Ohio, and really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, that definitely means a lot. My first question for you is, for those that may not know you, do you mind telling us your story in your own words?
Kind of the background on me. I grew up in Lake County most of my life. I've lived here over 40 years. I'm married. I have 4 children. My youngest one is my biggest volunteer. She's 12 years old. She volunteers all over the place with me. I do have an MBA. I do have a PhD in business administration and technology. And I've been in an elected role for the last 10, 12 years, first as a councilman and now as a treasurer, which is really a good fit for me because of my background in banking and brokerage. That's where I've spent the majority of my career in, and then my education. So investment is a really strong suit, and community involvement is something that I really have a passion for and really love. So the two are a really good mix.
I absolutely agree. My next question for you is, you're involved with the Lake County Special Needs Birthday Club. In fact, you're the president of that organization. Do you mind telling us a bit about the birthday club and how our audience can support them?
Okay, well, the birthday club, it started back with in 2020. We started this club. Terry Bose Cozy is the other main member of the club. So we started about 5 years ago, and what we wanted to do is offer free birthday parties for individuals who had special needs. And I believe she was very involved with Deepwood. Since 2020, I've become very involved with Deepwood and the Miracle League and other organizations with special needs individuals. But what we wanted to do is just create a free, once-in-a-lifetime, memorable birthday party for a special needs child. So we reached out and we told families in Lake County that we're offering this, and we got a huge response, and we were able to get local communities involved. So a lot of the birthdays that we would do, we would bring a fire truck to the local fire department, and there was another group that partnered with us, which was called Heroes United, and they would send a superhero or a character that the child may really like and like to see at their birthday party. So we'd work out what we're going to do with the parents, and then we would show up with pretty much with a couple presents that they would really like, and we'd try to bring a fire truck and a superhero, and just make it an extra special occasion. We've done everything from had large parades for children. We've gone to big parties where there's 80 to 100 family members. So we kind of just create the party around what the family wants and what would make that child's birthday the best ever. My favorite story was we were throwing a birthday party for a nonverbal child, and I believe it was somewhere in Wickliffe or Willowick, and it was last year, and she loved Hello Kitty. So we were able to talk to Heroes United, and they sent us Hello Kitty to meet us there at the house before we came in. So we went in, and we I think there were 5 or 6 of us that went into the birthday party, and we gave her the presents, and she wasn't even smiling. She was just looking at us, and she opened the presents, and we gave her a cake and balloons, and she was just kind of taking it in. And we had Hello Kitty come in and spend some time with her, and she's just kind of staring at Hello Kitty. Really wasn't doing much, because we thought we really wanted to make the party extra special. And then we brought in a bicycle. It was snowing outside, so we had to bring it in the house. And she got on her bicycle and she was riding around, and she was kind of laughing, or she's making noises. And I didn't think much of it, but she's riding around the house, and it got so out of control. She was knocking over chairs, and eventually she knocked over a lamp, and she broke the lamp. And we all decided, okay, I guess this is the end of the party. We're gonna leave. So we left. And when I was in the car driving home, the mom called me, and she's crying, and she's like, my daughter was smiling, and she was laughing, and she hasn't done that in years. So that was something that we get so much out of doing these birthday parties for the special needs community. It means so much, and it means a lot to us. Every time the group walks away from a birthday party, we're like, oh my gosh, that was the best party ever. And we could just see how much it means to the family when we go and we do those. But that was one of my favorite experiences with that little girl that was sitting there smiling, riding the bike around in the middle of winter in her house. It was very, very special.
It definitely sounds special. And I was telling Teresa I was able to get in touch with her, but I might have to help with a couple of these parties because, like I said, it's one of my favorite organizations to support. I really admire the mission. My next question for you is going back into the financial aspect. A lot of autistic individuals have a lot of trouble with finances. It can be a stressful experience to them. And I remember one time I had to go to you for advice because I was scammed. I don't know what the scam was. It was probably a pay scam or whatever. So my next question for you is, how can parents, guardians, or autistic individuals get assistance with finances if they're not sure?
Well, the state treasurer's office has a program called the Stable Account, which that basically offers a way to save and invest for an autistic or disabled individual without having it affect their benefits for Medicare or maybe some other governmental programs. So that is the start of a really good program that will help the autistic community. But I think there's a lot more. So, one thing is that I've been working on in Lake County is job and resource fairs. So we've teamed up the last 4 years with the Lake County Developmental Disability, and we have had job fairs. And our little spin on these, and I think this is really important, it would be nice to take to the state level, is we actually have on-site interviews. So we usually have 100 plus special needs individuals come in, and we invite their families in for the interviews. And when we have the employers there, they actually interview on site. So they could do their interview, and then they may be offered a job on site, or they may be called back later and say, hey, we're offering you a job and this amount of pay. But I think it's really important to create an environment, a job fair, where they could actually be interviewed right there, not over a computer, not having to deal with all the issues, but actually talk to an individual who's going to hire them and answer questions so they could see if that job is a good fit. That's worked really well. I know there's been a lot of people hired through that job fair, and that's something that I'd like to see go statewide for the special needs or autistic community. And I like also the idea of their family supporting them when they're going to these job fairs and being with them. So that's something I'd like to see go statewide, as well as at resource fairs. I think you could pretty much have the same concept where the family is going with them to help them see what they need and how they can be successful.
All of that definitely sounds great. And I'll add him a sense of finances, because we did a bit of an interview on finances for autistic college students. I would say definitely go to your local treasurer, ask them questions about whatever financial advice you need, and most importantly, trust your instincts on that kind of stuff, especially when it comes to scams and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think, Caden, I think you, I know you're aware that we do the financial literacy and the identity theft program. So we probably do a couple of those a month. We do them at libraries, senior centers, local schools, and I think that's really valuable too, just to go over budgeting and financial literacy, and then also identity theft, just to give the basic tools on how people can clean up their credit and budget, and stay out of debt and stay out of issues with their money. And that's something I'm a real strong believer in. And we've like I said, we probably do about 2 of those a month throughout the county.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Those types of classes, not just in Ohio, but in all 50 states, could definitely be helpful if they were given more often. As I said previously on this platform, one big thing that should be in every school as early as possible is financial classes, not just for autistic individuals, but for all students. That way they can get a head start on that kind of stuff. Which leads me to my last question of the interview. If elected to the Ohio State Treasurer, what will you do for the autism community in Ohio? Could we see the birthday club goes to the state level, as an example?
Yeah, I'd like to take everything to the state level. Everything that we've talked about. I mean, I think the birthday club is just a wonderful outreach, and people have so much to offer. Everyone is important, and just to celebrate them, I think is extremely important. Love to take that, but I'd also like to take the in-person job and resource fairs where people are actually interviewed on the spot. I think that that would be very valuable, not only for the autistic community, but also the employers, because there are some fantastic, very loyal autistic individuals that could really benefit an employer. And the way to do it is they need the in-person interviews. And then I also think more outreach with financial literacy, just to give, and identity theft and budgeting, just to give everyone more skills and more tools so they can manage their money and stay out of debt and stay out of trouble with their money is extremely important. So all of this I'd like to take to the state level and just give people more opportunity for success.
I really like that idea, and I think it's a great way to end this interview. Anyways, that's going to do it for this interview. Thank you so much to Treasurer Zuren for coming on and sharing his perspectives on things. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Autism Digest channel. Stay tuned for our August issue that comes out next month. You can get that by going to autismdigest.com. And stay tuned for the audio file to be posted on our Spotify at Autism Digest. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.